Jules, shut the fuck up.
Get fucking wrecked.
Grace, I'm sorry. All I want to say is you're golden Valorant. Stranger Things, your entire personality, even though you're only on one episode. You found out about Twitch through Tumblr. Not only have you not hit a trick shot, but you don't even know what the fuck that is. When you were still playing with Barbies, I made my first million out of this industry. And on top of it, you're excruciatingly mid who I would never let touch me on my drunkest night.
I know you, Rain, as the person who almost overdosed on a live stream. I know that you're better now because I grew up with a mom heavily into drugs. I made all of my wishes growing up that my mom would get better. So I am proud of you for getting better. Don't come after me for not knowing what a trick shot is, man. We're not on the same plane.
I was definitely expecting some level of this, but never to this extent. Let's talk about it. So if you're just like me and you don't really keep up with anything FaZe, then you too have probably also been slammed with all the FaZe drama that's happening right now on your Twitter timeline, just like me. Having a nice, okay, it's never nice while I'm scrolling through Twitter. I was having an absolutely atrocious day scrolling again through Twitter. Then I see Grace from Stranger Things getting signed to FaZe. Now, I've personally never watched Stranger Things, so I don't know her. I don't know any other thing about her besides the fact that she streams and that she's on Stranger Things on like one episode apparently. So I thought like, okay, that's very interesting. I'm pretty sure everyone would have probably said that. That it's very, very interesting. The fact that, you know, a Stranger Things actor is getting signed to a gaming esports company. You know, where's the correlation in that? Obviously, everyone had their own responses onto how this is a terrible idea. And knowing what I knew at the time, I would have agreed. Like, what's an actor gonna do for FaZe? What's the point of signing an actor to FaZe? Actress or actor, doesn't really matter. They have no relevance with FaZe. It just seemed like a bad idea. Then on to the next day of me scrolling through Twitter and having an absolutely atrocious day, I then learned that she was actually a streamer. She streamed before, I mean, I don't know how well before, but she streamed before she got the contract with FaZe. That's all I can clarify. I don't know how long she's been streaming for. I don't know anything about that. And I thought like, okay, cool. Now there's some kind of correlation now with her getting signed to FaZe. Definitely does make sense now. You know, she plays games. That's definitely a solid thing that you should have when you're signing to a gaming esports company. You should play video games. Spot on. But you know, there's still people who had their issues. People who still had their disagreements with the fact that they're signing an actor or signing a person that's not really relevant to FaZe. What if I was there to tell you that there was a person that was stirring the pot, a person that was really just going in, and there was no other person that could have done it better? It was FaZe Rain. So FaZe basically made like a tweet saying that they're signing like a female or they're signing someone new, and basically FaZe Rain just straight up leaked it. FaZe Clan tweeted, "We want more women in FaZe Clan." And Rain was like, spoiler alert, it's Grace, and the only reasoning I heard was because she was on one episode of Stranger Things. And after that, she got signed, and it was announced. They introduced her as FaZe Bluefille. I think it's Bluefille or Bluefille. I don't know. I think it's Bluefille. And obviously, people were still pretty upset about it. Then for some reason, Santana just decided to cause beef for some reason. I don't know. It was kind of just weird. He came for every OG in FaZe, and he got absolutely demolished. Anyways, ratio after ratio, because God, Rain ratioed FaZe quite a bit. And then after the signing and everything, Grace basically has a response. And it's not really a response only to Rain, it's a response to everyone. Admitting that, you know, her being part of that one Stranger Things episode definitely opened the door for her to get into FaZe, but her actually joining it was a whole different thing, which I do agree on, but I'll get into my opinion in just a moment. And Grace wasn't having it and basically told Rain to get wrecked. After saying get wrecked, bro basically went in and demolished her. I can't lie, she got cooked like holy moly, which is pretty weird, but like I said, I'll get to my opinion in just a moment. And then Grace comes with a response video, the response video being it wasn't what I was hoping for, honestly. If there was going to be a response videos, this was not the one to do. I didn't exactly watch the response video, but there was a section of it that basically has her bringing up the fact that Rain nearly OD'd and died essentially, and saying that her mother was also in a similar situation, which was very weird response, but I'll get into my opinion in just a moment, And then basically they both met up to make a video of basically talking about it, talking things out essentially, but that didn't go well. Grace wasn't having it and basically doubled down on what she said about her not liking Rain, and if the footage ever got out to the public, then she would leave FaZe. And as we speak, Grace has removed FaZe from her Twitter bio that she used to have. Now, what do I think? I'm going to explain how I think going in the iterations of events. And FaZe sent out the tweet, I don't know, it's like a normal tweet. It was like, all right, cool. Then I saw the FaZe response saying was Grace from Stranger Things. I was like, okay, what's the point of putting a Stranger Things actress on, you know, FaZe? What did could they possibly know about the entire brand and the audience and all of that? It seemed like a pretty terrible business move overall, and it just seemed like a very cloud-driven decision. Then after Grace was announced, I watched the entire video of her like announcement thing and was like, oh, she streams? Okay, you know, okay, that makes sense. But why not give that to another person who has been grinding for a spot in FaZe who is female? Because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of females out there that are grinding to be in FaZe. I'm all for a more female-driven esports space, right? Like, definitely. I think there were better candidates to do that with, ones that have been grinding for years, because I know that there's a lot of people who grind a lot to get into FaZe. Like, if you don't know that, then dude, what are you doing? I know it might sound rude, but I do think that there were better candidates for this. But at the end of the day, it was definitely more of a cloud route to go and pick Grace. And at this time I was like, you know what, Grace is definitely gonna get a lot of hate from this. Not because she's female and not because she's a Stranger Things actress and not because she's a streamer, but because she's all of these things, but all of these things and maybe some other reasons that I don't know about got her signed to FaZe, even though it was overall not well received. I mean, obviously this was planned, and I'm just saying, and it might sound, and it is rude, I can't lie, there are better candidates. I was like, okay, but cool. I mean, she's gonna unfortunately get a lot of hate, but I wasn't expecting her to get demolished by Rain of all people. Apparently that's Rain's style, but I just didn't expect him to go ahead and roast the absolute shite out of her. It was so uncalled for. Like, if there was anyone to attack in the situation, it's definitely FaZe. It's not Grace. Yes, Grace has collateral damage, but the only collateral damage that she should be experiencing from anyone is the fans and people on Twitter who don't have a life and just sit behind their keyboard all day. Not a public figure like FaZe Rain. Now, it wasn't exactly the nicest thing for Rain to leak the person that was getting signed to FaZe. Let's be honest. But if you're gonna go in at her saying get wrecked, damn brother. It's crazy. It's like he went so in, dude. I just wouldn't want to get on Rain's bad side, that's all I'm saying. The entire response that Rain made is just, it's very childish if I have to say so myself. Like, it was not needed at all. And it was just very childish. That's all I could really sum it up as. And at that time, I definitely felt like, okay, well, what the hell? I'm on Grace's side for sure. Like, why is Rain coming at her now? Okay, that's like a completely different thing. If there's anyone to be, you know, roasting, it's definitely FaZe, the corporate company that it now is, not Grace, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure, and okay, maybe not anyone, but I mean, but Stranger Things actress or not, if you got an opportunity to be part of FaZe, I mean, you'd probably take that, wouldn't you? So that's on the company, not on the person that joined. And then we get on to Grace's response video. Now, I watched this and oh my days, bruh. Hands covering my mouth, back on the base of my chair. My timbers have been shivered, and what she delivered was colder than winter. I didn't watch it, I'm not gonna lie, there's only that one segment that everyone sees that I've seen. She basically brings up the fact that Rain nearly OD'd, and that like she relates it to her mother, you know, ODing as well, which is pretty interesting, like I said. But controversial opinion, I think it was coming. After Rain going in the way he did with Grace's response to the entire situation, Grace did come with a comeback that was, I would ultimately say, childish as well, but it was definitely something that was expected. If there's anyone who sent a hit first, it was definitely Rain. I think a response was coming. I definitely did not expect it to be as bad, but it was definitely one of the responses of all time that was honestly coming. I definitely think that she could have responded to it in a more mature way without bringing the overdose incident, but at the same time, I really can't blame her for bringing it up as well. It's kind of like a really dark comeback, you know, in the situation. Rain hit first by leaking the fact that Grace was getting announced for FaZe. She responds with get wrecked. He goes in super duper hard and she comes back even harder. Yes, now I know a lot of people might be like, okay, saying that she's excruciatingly mid and that she nearly OD'd are two different things. And you're right, but at the same time, the way that I view it is just both as kind of childish. Like, yes, it's seriously messed up that she brought that up, but I think it's also seriously messed up that Rain went about the situation that he did. Not to say that I'm like equaling them, you know. Ultimately, the last person that I expect to attack Grace was, well, a FaZe member, OG or current. it doesn't really matter. Now we're here at the present, where Grace and Rain basically met up. Now the entire video of it is all on YouTube, but I saw a segment of the video where she basically ups and leaves, and before that happens, basically Rain just brings up the fact that, okay, you know, it was seriously messed up that you brought up the fact that I nearly died in response to the fact that I called you mid. You know, you've made all these achievements for yourself in life. Why should you even care for a response like this? Yada yada yada. And that to me feels very manipulative. And the thing is, I do want to agree with him. Like, it's the internet, and you know, she's made a lot of achievements for herself. I'm pretty sure she's done more than just Stranger Things, or you know, whatever else she's done in life. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure she's done a lot for herself in her life, and she's made great successes throughout other stuff. And that's what Rain is basically saying here. And yes, she ultimately shouldn't care, but that feels very manipulative, and he's trying to turn away from the fact that I acted mature in the situation. Maybe I'm the only person that feels that it's like very manipulative in that sense, like he's trying to get out of it by manipulating the situation and be like, you shouldn't have responded like this because you're this, and this. It's almost saying that she didn't have the right to be able to bring that up in order to come back from that. And Grace just essentially said, I don't care. And she up and left and basically said that if the footage gets posted, that she's leaving FaZe. And she was very upset about it. Now, what do I think overall of the situation? The entire situation is pretty immature. Everything has seemed to go wrong. Because at the end of the day, I think it's like okay to hurt FaZe because FaZe is no longer the FaZe that everyone once knew. Now, I was never really involved with FaZe, to be honest with you, but I know the impact that they had on the esports world and how big they are. So I'm definitely all for, you know, attacking FaZe and just criticizing the decisions that they make to sign the people that they sign. But at the same time, there has to be a line about not letting that damage be collateral and just centering it towards FaZe. It sucks because FaZe used to be cool, but now they just really suck. It's such a fall from grace. And I'm pretty sure people who've watched FaZe and, you know, basically grown up around FaZe feel pretty sad about it. But anyways, that's me. So if you have enjoyed this video, then please do leave a like. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you do want to, of course, unless you're going to check out my other videos of pro streams or whatever the case may be, then please do subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated if you do want to, of course. What do you think about the situation? Like I said, I think the whole thing between Rain and Grace is pretty immature for the most part, but at the same time, I can't blame Grace for responding the way that she did. Not to say that I would have done the same, but I can't blame her. What do you think? You know what it is, guys. Peace.